அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி You are filled with Jyoti, the light of God, and it is a light of compassion and intelligence. You are filled with the light of Arun, the light of grace, the light of God. It is an intelligent light. It's a light filled with compassion. Listen to his chant. We become both compassionate and infinitely intelligent. Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Thanipperum Karunai Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Thanipperum Karunai Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti
is the mantra revealed by Shiva. Listen to the song, develop compassion and enlightenment.
அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி You are filled with Jyoti, the light of God, and it is the light of compassion and intelligence. You are filled with the light of Arun, the light of grace, the light of God. It is an intelligent light. It's a light filled with compassion. Listen to his chant. You become both compassionate and infinitely intelligent. Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Tanipperum Karunai Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Arutperum Jyoti Tanipperum Karunai Arutperum Jyoti Jyoti
Hello, everyone. Let's open this up. All right, here we are. Day 10 of Mahalaya, Ancestor blessings during this great time where they're coming into the earth plane, our fabulous ancestors, those who have passed away. They are no more, they're deceased, they are dead, and they are sharing our genes. As Dr. Pillai shares, we think thoughts that are coming from our ancestors because we share their DNA, and that's called soul genetics, the term that Dr. Pillai coined many years ago, and he continues to encourage us to explore our connection to our ancestors. So my name is Sucharita, for those of you who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome on this Friday, September 11th, 2020, a day to remember for many of us around the world who we can connect with those ancestors who died during the great time of September 11th, way back in 2001. And it is a reminder for all of us that it's so important for us to pray for those ancestors who are restless, who have died in an untimely death, and in a way that was unnatural. So welcome to this workshop. We have been going since September 2nd. You're welcome to watch the recordings of the previously live viewed, or live streamed and viewed seminar or webinars that we have done. This is a 15-day or 16-day, depending on where you are in the world. It's a period of time where we can do a Tarpanam offering. We can appease the ancestors so that that energy that's congested or negative that's in our genes and that we share with them, even though they're no more in the physical form or body, they are connected to us energetically. So we, regardless of what we were raised in or what kind of relationship we had with our ancestors, whether we even knew our ancestors while they were here on the earth plane, and we know them intimately internally. So all the spiritual tools that Dr. Pillai shares here at Pillai Center in Astrovet are there to unlock the secrets of that door that will connect us to these divine realms, these spiritual realms. So some of our ancestors are in exalted states of being. They are in joy and happiness, and they are communing with gods and goddesses, and maybe even themselves have raised to that level of consciousness of being a highly evolved being, such as a god or goddess or angel or a spiritual master, or any form of nature that is coming in and trying to bring more intelligence into the earth plane. So what is intelligence? It's light. If you have light, then the darkness doesn't exist. So the more light we have internally, the more of those dark moments where we're experiencing, maybe for longer than a moment, maybe a whole lifetime, where we cannot get rid of deep-seated anger, frustration. Those are dark energies. Those are what create dark days on the earth plane. That's what creates hatred and war and all the anxiety. So many of you have been sharing, and you've been having these kind of cathartic releases. So many of us are saying, you know, I pray to my ancestors, or I pray to my spouse who has passed over, significant others in my life, or friends, kids, you know, aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, whatever. And even if you don't know your biological gene pool, maybe you were adopted, or maybe you came into some family that you called your own, and it's outside of your biological gene pool. Karmically speaking, you have an experience to live out in this lifetime, and to honor those who have supported you, regardless of how well they supported you, or how intimately you were connected with them, or how distant you felt from them. They are still your ancestors, those who have gone before. and they are pinging you at the level of the body, mind, and soul to come and commune with them. So we're here to give you that experience. Again, this is a workshop. We're going to share a little bit of a message from Dr. Pillai, and also you're going to hear about the importance or the significance of these different moon phases of Mahalaya. So there are 15 moon phases, and we started on September 2nd here in Toronto, Canada, Eastern Daylight Savings Time, and we're going to end on the 16th. Here in Toronto, Canada, Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So if it's going to be the 17th for you, don't worry about it wherever you are in the world. That's the day that it's going to end for you. And why? The moon represents the mind. So we have all these desires that are either being fulfilled or they haven't been fulfilled yet. We have thoughts, we have emotions, we have this mindset that gets stuck in old ways of being and we can't come out of it. We see in our lives that which is not creating joy and happiness that needs to be diffused. We're facing it every day and we can't seem to lose grip of that. So these moons, moon days, these phases of the moon, just like every other regular time throughout the year, these moon phases during Mahalaya will tell a story. So the story that we have today, or the energy that we can tap into, or our intention that we can set, our prayers for the ancestors, is to ask for success in our profession or our career or our job or the projects that we are undergoing. So we want to experience success every moment, every step of the way in our lives. And these small successes build up, and it builds that high self-esteem. It builds our faith, our hope in this, in our lives, and then also in humanity as a whole. So we pray to 6 generations at least. If you're praying to more, that's fine. So 6 generations on your mother's side of the family, father's side of the family, or maternal side of the family is the mother's side of the family. Paternal side of the family is the father's side of the family. That's one of the questions people are asking. So just wanted to clear that up. Ancestors, again, are those people who are dead. They're deceased. They're no more. They are not in this physical world. So if your grandmother is alive, or your parents are alive, or your great grandparents are alive, or grandfather's alive, or any of your aunts and uncles are alive, they are still alive. They are the descendants of the ancestors that you come from. So if anyone is alive, they are not your ancestors, regardless if it's a generation ahead of you or a couple or extended. So want to make that very clear. And some people have been sharing that they were offering tarpanum to the people who were alive and now they feel bad about it. Please don't feel bad. You didn't know. So you can just move forward and just pray for the ancestors, even if you don't know their names, even if you don't even know who they are. You are praying to the ancestors who you came from, this gene pool that you share. And knowingly or unknowingly, you have come to this point in your life where you want to find out what you can do to connect with that gene pool and then get genes of success expressed. So success is not necessarily money in the bank or having health or well-being or fabulous relationships. That success is that you are doing something that is purposeful, that's going beyond this body while you're still in this body. So we're going to tap into the spiritual realm. We are going to ask the ancestors for blessings, and those ancestors who are really struggling, they're, as Dr. Pillai says, they're hanging upside down, they're in hellish realms, they are confused, they're lost. Maybe they were lost and confused and in hellish states of consciousness when they were alive. Maybe they were distant from the family, from you. So their soul, that's what the soul remembers, and then it just hovers. It's in between this earth plane and heavenly realms where the ancestors hang out and are blessed, and then they can evolve from there. Just like here, we are learning things here on the earth plane, and we want to have the best life possible. So when we offer this tarpanum, And we've talked about it for all the days before. So please go and review, watch those Pillai Center YouTubes, Pillai Center Practice YouTubes. And then you can also participate in those Tarpanam offerings, even though the time has gone by. That energy is a snapshot of the day. The energy that was coming in that day is going to impact you, impact your body, your mind, your soul. So you can catch up definitely and not feel like, oh, geez, I missed out on the first part. Just take some time and do that. And then there's all your questions will be answered there as well. There's a lot of great information that has been shared by Dr. Pillai. And then also the responses that I gave to the members here who have been also attending these webinars. So whether you're doing it live or recorded, watching it, the recording, you are getting the blessings. And that's the main thing. And you're establishing that deep divine Wi-Fi connection. So you can just send the text message or the WhatsApp or Instagram or email or phone to your ancestors in the divine realms that they're hanging out in. Get those connected to those ancestors who are in exalted states of being. What is exaltation? It's joy, it's happiness, it's health and well-being, it's vitality, no matter what age and stage you are, and no matter what problem that you're facing. Everyone in the world, let me repeat that. Everyone in the world has problems, regardless of your situation. There is an issue where we are not experiencing freedom to just be and to be able to help people and live a purposeful life without all these obstacles. So the ancestors come in when we offer this Tarpanam, the key that will unlock the door that separates you from them. And then they will come in because they're not in a physical body. They are able to commune with your DNA and shift it so that it lights up the consciousness of success, of well-being, of purposefulness. And maybe it will open up doors today because the focus on the intention or prayer that we're going to send out to the ancestors is for our professional progress or career progress or business progress, and perfect timing to get the blessings of the ancestors because we're in this COVID lockdown and we've been all faced with a bunch of financial challenges and perhaps even have lost our job or our business has failed or is failing. So we need to get down on our knees, sometimes literally, and cry to get the support of the ancestors. Wake that consciousness up inside of us. We don't know it's there. So Dr. Pillai gives us the tools. These are spiritual tools. Again, you don't have to hail from the Indian tradition, Hinduism, Buddhism, any ism, Catholicism, Judaism, Islam. You don't have to be from any particular tradition or religious or cultural background or belief. You can just do this offering and you feel it. It is a key. It goes into the spiritual realm of the ancestors and it unlocks that consciousness inside of you because you're doing it. We're not just here to entertain you or give you some information. I mean, that's kind of fun too, but we want you to experience it as you're doing this. What is happening inside of you? What are your thoughts? What do you feel? And then if it's just coming out of nowhere where you're just crying your head off or you're sobbing and you continue to sob, it is saying something to you that's going beyond your mind, beyond the emotions. You just connected with your ancestors. So with that, let's get into a state of receptivity where we can receive the message from Dr. Pillai and also Swamini Bali, who is a Pillai Center teacher, a Vedic astrologer, longtime student of Dr. Pillai's, has put together a video clip, very short, maybe 2 minutes, on the significance of the phases of the moon, so you can catch up. All right, and we'll continue on till the very end. So let's get into it. I'm going to share a screen. And we will get going with the message.
Those of you who have been following my teaching for some time, you know that I put a lot of emphasis on ancestor rituals. If there are problems in life, of course everybody has problems in life, and the problems are because of various reasons, and primarily one of the primary reasons is the ancestors, your ancestors are unhappy. The departed ancestors, the souls are unhappy. And this I have explained at some length in my videotape called Soul Genetics. Just as receive the genes from your ancestors, the biological genes, your soul also inherit fortune or misfortune from the souls of your ancestors. They are all hanging out there. And the yogis recommend that there is one important ritual that everyone, regardless whether he's a king or a chief minister or whether he is a gardener, should do, is take care of the ancestors' spirits. You know, the dead ancestors' spirits. They are all hanging out there. They are all coming to the earth plane in order for seeking help from the offsprings that are the descendant offsprings. This might seem strange, but let me tell you, this is something that works for sure. Once you feed these spirits, then you find dramatic results happening. And when do these spirits come? They are here all the time, but predominantly their influence is felt during the new moon days. So from new moon at 6 in the morning when the sun rises, they come and then hang out with you in our house with you. And that's the time that you give what's called tarpanam offering to the spirits. You just give some sesame seeds and water to these spirits, and then they're so satisfied, and then they can do a world of good for you. And if you miss doing all these things on a regular basis, you know, for my students I recommend that you do it every day. And then in India they said at least you do it for a new moon day. And if you miss all of them and then want to get benefit from this ritual, the spirits are here on the earth plane. This time is the most important time for all the yogis. The yogis do not want to miss this time, and they also recommend that the householders, common people, to take advantage of this time, because during this time you can completely change your fortune by propitiating these spirits that have left the earth plane, and then they have come there now. They are willing to help you, but you need to do something, that is doing this ritual of feeding them. It's called tarpanam. And this is the most important time of the year. These 14 days, you know, make sure that you do everything, that you observe these 14 days of feeding the ancestor's soul. You will see miracles happening in your life.
Honoring our ancestors is an important time element in many traditions. Our physical and spiritual DNA comes to us from those who have gone before. Each year, after the full moon that comes before the autumnal equinox, there is a special 2-week festival called Mahalaya. This always ends on a new moon. During this time period, the ancestors come very close to the earth plane. We can do special rituals known as tarpanam and offer prayers for them, as well as receive their blessings. Did you know each particular moon phase of the 2 weeks of Mahalaya gives special benefits when tarpanam is done? These are the positive effects of specific moon phase tarpanams of Mahalaya. First moon gives wealth. Second moon grants the continuation of your lineage. Third moon gives business prosperity. Fourth moon gives ability to master enemies. Fifth moon grants all-over prosperity. Sixth moon grants a solid reputation. Seventh moon secures inner strength and spirituality. Eighth moon blesses with intelligence. Ninth moon opens you up to receive support from women. 10th moon grants success in your profession. 11th moon grants children, prosperity, and intelligence. 12th moon grants continuation of lineage and success from education. The 13th and 14th moon both bless you with many vehicles, peace, and longevity. The new moon, or Mahalaya Amavasya, if you miss any of the above days, new moon Tarpanam is highly recommended. This is also an essential day for doing Tarpanam for those who died due to weapons or accidents. And during this day, the known and unknown souls that have departed during the last 30 years are treated as equal to God. Every September, Astraved offers specials for Mahalaya, which are performed in a very correct way by specially trained priests on behalf of those who sponsor for their departed loved ones. We hope you will allow us to do this for your ancestors in the next Mahalaya.
Sorry, there you have it. I was on mute. Maybe I should be. So let's get into the practice now of taking all that information that has been shared with by Dr. Pillai, and also the message about the different phases of the moon. Remember, the moon represents our mind. And so whatever is happening every day, our mindset is focused towards that energy, that intelligence that is coming from the moon to fulfill our desires, or to confuse us, or to create all kinds of havoc in the mind, especially during this COVID time when we're on lockdown and our freedom has been interrupted in a way that we can't even express fully because we're still going through it. So we can ask the ancestors to help us to develop a strong mind, and then focus today on getting blessings for success in our profession, our career, our job pursuits. Maybe ask the blessings from the ancestors to show us a way where we can shine in our career, where we can shine in the work that we do. And even if we don't have a job that we will get an income from, or a business that we'll get an income from, maybe our job is to raise our family, to be happy and healthy and joyous. And maybe it is to be a volunteer, or whatever it is that your soul group, your gene pool has done in previous generations, that intelligence can get woken up inside of you. And that's what we want to know, is what is our true purpose? What will fulfill us? What will bring joy and happiness and bring us into exalted states, and not like we're full of joy and giddy and spaced out, but we're just always connected to the blessings. So the blessings are everything, as Dr. Pillai says. You can meditate, you can pray, you can do rituals, you can go on spiritual pilgrimages, you can go to church or temple or mosque, and whatever it is that you do to connect with the divine. Maybe go into nature and be alone, or feel that connection to that universal energy that will guide you. So whatever it is that we're doing to commune with those who have gone before us, and they also are pinging us inside, we will have an experience, and we need to have that experience. So we will continue to try to connect with them, and more so than doing the offering or participating in this offering, we are going to ask for them to show up in our lives and help us to live a more purposeful life as we're moving through these tricky times, where we can get pulled into all kinds of dramas. And perhaps that's what our soul wants to do. No hard or fast rules. No one's judging anyone, but just, are you experiencing joy? Does that turn you on? Does it make you to feel happy and healthy and enlightened? Or are you being distracted? And you can use your time and your energy and your resources wisely. So let's do it. What we're going to experience now is, if you are in a time zone where it is after sunrise and before sunset, so daylight hours, if it's daylight for you, wherever you are, you can go ahead and partake in the Tarpanam offering from your home or wherever you are. Maybe you're at the ocean side, riverside. You can offer Tarpanam there as well, in nature, in your backyard, in your home. As long as it's daylight hours, it's recommended that's the time frame where you can offer the Tarpanam. Then go ahead and do that. If it's before sunrise and after sunset, so non-daylight hours, then you can still participate. I mean, you can do the prayers. We're going to do a little bit of a meditation as well, so you can really feel that spiritual connection. You're welcome to observe the offering that's being done here, and then receive the blessings coming from your ancestors. So this is a key that's going to unlock the door for you to connect spiritually to your ancestors and clean up that DNA, clean up that gene pool. So here we go. I'm going to be moving away from the camera or the viewing screen, and then you'll be seeing a little bit of an altar setup. You don't have to get into this. Just wanted it for display purposes, demonstration purposes. And then you can even be doing this after you take your shower, right in the shower or in the sink or at the kitchen sink. We'll talk about that, or I have talked about that in previous webinars. So with that, here we go. So just moving over into this setup here, where you will see the bowl where we're going to be doing the offering. So you're going to be using your right hand. This is my right hand. And you're always going to be using your right hand when you do spiritual offerings, as much as possible. And what I mean by that is I'll be putting some different items for the Tarpanam mix into my hand with my left hand. So please don't stress out about that, people. Trying to make this as easy as possible. So first of all, we're going to get into a state of receptivity where we are going to move from our worldly thoughts about what's happening in our lives, what's happening in the world, all our problems. And we're going to go inside and connect with our spiritual selves, that energy that is inside of us that can be revealing to us that which is no longer serving us energetically, and then raise the good energy from the base of the spine up into the brain, and then through the brain and into the skull, and then through the skull and into the space. So let's set it up. Whatever you have thought up until this point, just allow those thoughts to dissipate, to float away like clouds maybe. That will be an image that you can just think of floating by, and then clear sky again. So close your eyes, put your attention internally. Imagine a reddish orangish light pouring down your legs into your feet and toes, maybe around your pelvic region or the base of your spine, even into the navel area, the belly. You're going to feel this energy starting to come alive and get you fired up. So reddish orangish light, like a fire, the colors of a fire, are pouring down your legs and into your feet, through the soles of your feet, even into the earth, deep into the core of the earth, where it is fire. So anything that is no longer serving you, connecting to that fire within the core of the earth, purifying, and then feel the energy come back up the soles of the feet, up the legs, and into the pelvic region. reddish orangish light, we'll call on Ganesha to remove the obstacles for you to experience a communion with your ancestors energetically. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Now, focus your attention on your backbone, your spine. In the subtle body, your energy body that corresponds with your physical spine, imagine a ray of light shooting up your backbone, piercing all the psycho-spiritual centers, the chakras, the energy wheels that are stacked up on top of one another in your backbone, in your subtle body. This light shoots up through the skull into the space, sending an SOS to your ancestors who are in exalted states of being. Ask them to connect with this ray of light. Ask them to awaken those ancestors who are struggling. Ask them to help them to evolve with this signal you're sending. Now imagine two beams of light entering your eyeballs, piercing them, cleaning up the windows to your soul. The eyes are the windows to the soul. So clean up the windows, the eyes. With the light, two beams of light enter your eardrums, piercing your eardrums, going inside of the middle of your head into your brain, lighting it up. Even your face lights up with the heat of this divine light. Two beams of light shoot up your nostrils. Another beam of light enters the mouth, pierces the tip of the tongue, lights it up. Middle of the tongue lights up. Back of the tongue, especially at the back of the throat, where the stuck, stubborn karma is. Light it up. Diffuse that dark karma. Another beam of light enters the top of your skull from above. It pierces your brain, lights it up. And with that, the whole body lights up. All the way to your feet. Now, Dr. Pillai appears before you in your mind's eye, or you can imagine him appearing before you physically in a form you're familiar with, or a light. Embrace the spiritual transmission, the darshan, that will empower you to experience a change in your destiny. If you were destined to be unsuccessful, then this energy will give you success in your profession, your career, your business, whatever it is that you're doing in life. That is your true purpose. Embrace the light, feel it moving through the pores of your skin. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. And slowly, slowly open your eyes and we'll begin. Take some water and pour it on your right hand. Black sesame seeds, beige or white is fine as well. Take a little bit, pop it on your right palm, like so. White rice grains or even brown rice grains. Cooked or uncooked is fine. A little bit on top of that. Then you can take some white rice powder, if you have that. Or if you don't have white rice grains, you can use that instead. Take your coin, any denomination, any type of metal. You can take a piece of darba grass, place it on top. Some tulsi leaves, we have fresh ones here. Place it on top of that. And finally, some flower petals. So this is the offering that we are going to ask 6 generations on the mother side of the family, the maternal side of the family, of the ancestors who have gone before us. So this is the key that's going to unlock the door to your connection to your ancestors. So please take this offering, 6 generations on the mother's side of the family, the paternal side of, or the maternal side of the family. Move into higher realms, move out of suffering, pain of the soul. Go to these exalted ancestors and get the blessings to evolve into higher states of being, joy, happiness, peace, prosperity, enlightenment. Feel the relief as we are forgiving you for any mistakes that you have passed on to us, sins, curses, whatever it is. Please be relieved of that. And then also forgive us for not communing with you on a regular basis, so that we can continue to receive your blessings. Especially, we're asking for the blessings to experience success in our professional, career, job, business pursuits, or whatever our purpose is, educational pursuits. Bless everyone here in your gene pool, the descendants on the earth plane, with peace, prosperity, enlightenment. And then you can take a little bit of water and commune with the ancestors. Ask for something specific about your job or your financial state, your business, your career. There are so many ancestors on your mother's side of the family who were successful. So ask them to wake that success consciousness up inside of you. And then if you haven't opened your eyes, you can, and then you can imagine all the sins, all the problems, all the issues, all the curses that you inherited, all the thoughts that are destructive are being washed away. And the coin is going to drop into the bowl. You're going to wash it away as you wash the substances into the bowl, the offering into the bowl. And then just take a quick moment to feel the connection to the maternal ancestors. Take the coin out, and then we'll begin again with the offering for the father side of the family, the paternal side of the family. Again, you can start with 6 generations or do more if you've been practicing Tarpanam for some time. Black sesame seeds or beige or white. Some white or brown rice, cooked or uncooked. Greens. some white rice powder, if you have it. Then you can take the coin, pop it in there, right hand palm. Take some darba grass, special herb or grass that the ancestors love. And then some tulsi leaves, we have some fresh ones. Finally, some flower petals. Hold it over the bowl, pour a little water. Close your eyes and connect with your heart and soul and mind and body and pray for 6 generations on the father side of the family to evolve into higher states of being, be free of suffering of any kind, evolve to the states of the exalted ancestors, get their blessings, their support, whatever you need to be at peace, joy, happy, vital, energized, out of hellish states or states that you feel confused about. And then please come and bless everyone here on the earth plane, your descendants, your gene pool, with peace, prosperity, enlightenment. Be forgiven as we forgive you for any misunderstandings or sins or curses or just negative thoughts. So you can, the father's side of the family wants more offerings. Okay, so we're going to do that. This is how you'll know that the ancestors are talking to you. You just intuitively. You can offer some more. We're just going to pour it on. And then you can be opening your eyes, and after you've said your prayer of specifically what you want help with, blessings of success, professional, business, job, whatever your purpose is, education. And then wash it away. As it's being washed away into the bowl, then you imagine your own body, mind, and soul being washed away, cleansed. The DNA is being cleansed. And then we'll take the coin for one last offering for today. And this session is going to be for all ancestors of all of humanity. Because we can pray. As a collective global community, we'll connect the dots, create a network of people who want to pray for all ancestors to be at peace. For the exalted ones to come, so black sesame seeds, rice grains, white rice powder, darba grass, some tulsi leaves or seeds even, if you have it, some flowers, and the coin. So this is going to be the offering for all exalted ancestors to help those ancestors who have suffered through war times or famine or scarcity consciousness, lifetimes of not having enough and no success. So give them what they can use to evolve into higher states and then come out of that harm, come out of those thoughts, that stuck place, and experience success through this offering. Pour a little bit of water. We'll make a prayer to the exalted ancestors, those who are in states of joy and happiness, heavenly realms. Bring heaven to the earth plane so that we can all experience peace, prosperity, enlightenment, success in everything that we're doing through the grace and blessings of the exalted ancestors, gods, goddesses, spiritual masters, siddhas, saints, divine beings. In Dr. Pillai's name, so be it. And then we will pour the water onto the mixture. It's going into the bowl. And as it's going in, feel your body. Feel what's going on inside of your mind, in your emotions, your energy. As this is being done, the sins are being removed. Remember, sins are mistakes. And then close your eyes. Put your attention internally. You can have your hands in prayer pose or your palms facing up to connect with the energy coming from the heavenly realms, from the realm of the ancestors, dancing on the palms of your hands. Namah Shivaya. Feel your chakras coming alive, your psycho-spiritual centers, the energy wheels or lotuses blooming in your spine and in the rest of the body. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Put your attention in the middle of your brain, the third eye. Receive the golden energy of the sound, the highest vibrating sound of wealth passed on from the ancestors, Vishwamitra, and then giving to Dr. Pillai, the sounds Shreem Brzi. Wake that up inside of you, inside of your third eye. Shreem Brzi. Shreem Brzi. Shreem Brzi. Shreem Brzi. Shreem Brzi. Shreem Brzi. Ask these sounds, the vibrations of light and sound, waking up your brain of prosperity consciousness, wealth, health, happiness, peace, joy, everything that represents heaven here on the earth plane will be unlocked with the secret sounds coming from exalted ancestors in our brain, our third eye. Shreem Brzi. Shreem Shreem Brizzy, Shreem Brizzy, Shreem Brizzy, Shreem Brizzy, Shreem Brizzy, Shreem. Internalize the sound that carries with it the light or intelligence of prosperity, health, wealth, happiness, success. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul. Peace to the environment, peace to all ancestors. May everyone be at peace and prosper. So slowly, slowly come back to yourselves. And when you're ready, you can complete the process as you wish, or you can continue on and commune with your ancestors. Thank Dr. Pillai for guiding your soul to come and get this blessing to be able to unlock the secrets of your communion with your ancestors and then receive blessings. For those of you who need to go, thanks for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time. Enjoy your Tarpanam practice. If we don't see you again, you can watch the recordings that will be here. And for those of you who are going to stay, we will take some questions. I just want to pop up on the shared screen what you can look for on Pillai Center. So receive a lifetime of blessings for your exalted ancestors in 15 days. So we're at day 10 of 15. So there are still some days to go where you can read about the ancestors and how it is so important. So knowledge is power, and power is empowerment. It's not like power over somebody. It is that energy inside of you that comes alive and you feel empowered. You feel like, whoa, where did that come from? And what is it doing for me? What is that energy that's coming inside, or that intelligence? The intel is inside, just like the computers. You know, you can have a lot of speed of connection. When you have a high Wi-Fi connection, you have a high-speed internet connection. So that's what we want to do, is we want to increase the energy or feel empowered, pick up speed of connection to our ancestors to get their blessings. So reading about how to do that, and then maybe considering participating in the services that are sponsored, that you can sponsor or participate in sponsoring the group ones, especially because they're everyone from around the world. We're asking for blessings, of course, for ourselves, our family members, our communities, and so on, our gene pool, but also collectively, we're opening up the energetic vortex where the ancestors are like, oh, who's sponsoring, who's doing that? So as we're doing it collectively, it's a pretty amazing experience. So you might want to consider that. Just reading about it, get the empowerment. If you can't afford to participate, God only knows what you can do. However, the ancestors have been kind of fun over the years with me, is that when I think that I can't afford it, I'm praying and praying, please, 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 I just want to do this. And then money seems to come out of nowhere. And when that happens, it goes right to that spiritual or ritual, the offering. So read about it, watch the videos, participate, use this time, as Dr. Pillai says, to understand inside of you the genes that you share, the thoughts that you have, the the way you look, the way you act is all due to the ancestors. So they're no more here, you are. So you're living their life, and they lived lives that in the past 6 generations, that's, a few hundred years, it's been warlike times, world wars, and historically speaking, a lot of bloodshed. So there was a lot of our ancestors who suffered or died, during those war-torn moments, or rioting. And just like it is for us now here during COVID time around the world, people are really upset and they're killing people, killing one another. That's just not right, with all this intelligence and this connecting to communities like with Dr. Pillai, and people who are on spiritual paths, and they're connecting it with their teachers and so on. And we're all really making an effort to do what we can to stay uplifted. So being with Dr. Pillai in these past several months during COVID, we're hearing from so many people how blessed they feel, because every day could be a battle, and they could lose hope and lose faith and lose positivity. But being with Dr. Pillai, we've had so many free events. And then welcome to those of you who are new. There's always will be free events continuing on, because this is a time where we need to really come together as spiritual communities and help to call in the divine. So this technology that we're diving into in these 15 days of Mahalaya, it's regardless of what your faith or tradition or your cultural beliefs, it doesn't matter. In fact, this may unlock the secrets to help you to explore that even more. So that's what it's done for a lot of us. Dr. Pillai said, I have a lot of recovering Catholics who follow me, and I'm one of those. Not that I'm recovering, I'm just going deeper into that culture, that tradition that I was raised in, and going beyond what was fed to me was, pretty scary, guilty, and all the rest. And I couldn't get my head around these spiritual teachings. So I understand when people are like, what is this going to do for me? Until you do it enough that you feel it. So again, we just did 3 offerings of Tarpanam today. When the Vedic specialists do it, they do it every day for you. If you participate in Mahalaya, or if you participate in year-long services, which we're hearing from so many of you, thank you for sharing that you are enrolled in that program, because you just look at your life, look at your family, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your grandparents, the kids, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles. So just your immediate gene pool that are here on the earth plane, and how they've suffered financially, relationship wise, bickering and fighting, can't seem to get a grip, can't seem to feel a success, get a grip of success and sustain that all around. Maybe some are experiencing it, and you're from the same gene pool, you're from the same family. What's up with that? So the ancestors really will they'll wreak havoc, creating addictions, and that gets passed on. So a lot of physical, mental, emotional, sexual abuse that gets inherited, and we're not, why is that happening? So if that is prevalent, or if it is a pattern that persists, and you can see it, you can trace it back a couple of generations, you'll see it not too far away, because you're sharing those genes. And even though those ancestors are no more, they're pinging us, and it is happening, it manifests. So we need to stop it. So do what you can. So if you're participating in the year-long program, for sure, you are going to get blessings every day, because the ancestors are being honored in various power spots throughout India that you wouldn't be able to get to on your own, even if you were there. COVID or no COVID, it's very difficult. So they are doing it. Dr. Pillai has been working with these Vedic specialists who have their third eye open, so they see the ancestors who are disturbing the lineage, and then they negotiate on our behalf. How do we speak ancestor speak? We don't know what they need. And so this is just a modified version of what is required. Even if you just have black sesame seeds, even beige or white ones, that's what Dr. Pillai says, you just can have that and offer it. with a coin and some water, you know, some flowers if you have it. So it's just black sesame seeds. And then we talked about that in previous videos during this workshop period of time, Mahalaya and Ancestor Blessings here on Pillai Center Practice YouTube. And we shared that there's secrets in the black sesame seeds. You can also read about it on Pillai Center or Astrovad blogs. So just explore, go deeper into what the technology is, and then you can just do this. And so Dr. Pillai says it will change you. It will shift your thinking. You'll come out of, you know, desires that are not uplifting. And you're just like, I can't help myself to come out of my negativity, my problematic state of being. And especially as it relates to success, because our job or career or business or profession, we do that most of the day, 8 to 10 hours of the day, sometimes 12 hours of the day. So we're spending pretty much half of a day in the work that we do. So that's who we are expressing ourselves, whether that's our highest and best version or whatever, you know. So we want it to be a joyous experience because it's half of our life, half of our sweet awaking state, maybe even more, because we're sleeping for some time too, and then doing whatever it is to during our off time. So the ancestors are going to be playing havoc with us throughout this Mahalaya in order for us to pay attention. So we don't want the havoc. We just want to know, oh, something's up, and then feed them. So feed them again and again and again. Some people are doing 108 Tarpanam offerings in a row in a day. So they got all the materials, and then they're just going off maybe to the ocean or river or lake, somewhere where it's secluded and just they can do it discreetly. They're not going to disturb anyone or get any negative attention drawn to them. And then they just commune, and again they will offer and cry and go through all kinds of memories, and you know, why is this happening? And then finally there will have a breakthrough. So we have to do something physically to experience the shift. We don't want to just listen to what anyone says and then hope it all works out. So Dr. Pillai is not about blind faith. He wants you to have faith, utter positivity, but not be blind. You be right in it. You look at it, you see it, you open your third eye, you have flashes of insights. You have a communion with these souls who can then help you. So that's what I wanted to share. There are maybe some questions here on the chat. Or some shared experiences, which I love when people do that. So lots of gratitude, and that's what it is. The attitude of gratitude is what is going to make you to feel great, because when you're grateful, you feel so great. You feel full of greatness. And what is that? Success. And you can't put your finger on it, because what is the definition of success? You can't say it's one thing or two things, or when this happens or doesn't happen. It's a energy. And it's a consciousness that helps us to move along in life and just know everything is going to be okay. So small successes can be, you showed up here, you participated, you felt something, your energy shifted, your mindset shifted. So people say, how do I change my destiny? It starts with your attitude. So your attitude of gratitude. Thanks everyone for sharing that here. People are asking, do you avoid intimacy? What are the do's and don'ts of Mahalaya? There's lots that have been shared in videos previously that we talked about. And then we said, okay, there's do's and don'ts as per the tradition of your own culture, whether it's the Indian tradition or any tradition. So just go by that. And if you can't, there are no hard and fast rules with Dr. Pillai. He just wants you to take some time and commune with your ancestors, and whatever you do after that, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. But there are some suggestions when you do avoid, you know, non-veg food or alcohol, cigarettes, weed. People were saying, do I have to stop my weed smoking? No, you can avoid it or just lessen it. Do you have to stop having sex? No, you can do whatever you want to do. So you're just honoring your ancestors, focused, honoring them when you can do that. And then whatever you're drawn to do in your life, you just go ahead and do that as well. So if you want to avoid all that or just use it as a time out, use this period as a time out and just commune, merge with the ancestors, the energy that with all those distractions that you would just be doing on an everyday basis, as daily activities, you can be praying to your ancestors. You can be writing them letters and burning those letters. So the time that you would take out and do all the other things, you can just go and commune with the ancestors. Again, please don't feel like, oh my God, there are so many do's and don'ts. We're just here to give you a tool, to use it, to feel it, to know it. That's what being on a spiritual path is all about. It's not just thinking about it. You want to move beyond that philosophy or belief system. You want to go deep into it. And we use our body, our mind, our soul, our speech, our intuition, our spiritual energy field, inside and outside, to experience the shift in life from maybe not knowing to a little bit as we go along. And the ancestors will give us just enough. You can throw out the offerings if you have it, if you have to put it down the drain, get a drain catcher, a screen that fits in to your drain. And then as it gets washed away, then you just take it and then dump it into your garden, into recycling garden waste, or you can put it in a river or ocean if it's nearby, nature where nobody's going to walk on it. So no hard and fast rules. And then if that isn't available, just put it in the trash. It's fine. You're very welcome. Lots of gratitude here. Audrey is saying, oh, hello, Audrey. This is my first time participating in Tarpana practice. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have been introduced to this reality. I have faith in knowing that my life or my health is getting better. So the health and well-being is inherited by the ancestors. And Dr. Pillai shared about that in a video, I think it was yesterday or the day before. So please check out these videos, recordings of this webinar, this workshop since September 2nd. And then you can get all, you know, when you're first listening to Dr. Pillai, you can be in a different state and he just shares so much knowledge that you're just like, what? And then when you review it, he say, wow, I totally missed that. So he will be telling about how we inherit disease. It doesn't manifest, but we inherit it through the ancestors' genes who may have suffered from cancer or heart condition, diabetes, and it will wake up in even the healthiest and vital of people because the ancestors are pinging that soul. So that's why we want to do the Tarpana and say, hey, stop that. You know, that's not a good idea. So your health, your well-being will come up when you do this offering. So good that you are here and God bless you. So Divya is saying those who died, moved on, and September 11th, be free, move towards light. Beautiful prayer. And that's what we can do, is to pray for those who are suffering, especially people we don't know. But can you imagine yourself or you know, going through that, or a family member going through that? That's where the compassion comes in. Even if you didn't suffer, no one is suffering in your life. You can go on to the next level, which is to pray for others who are. And that's what everyone does here. So thanks so much for your kind words. It doesn't matter if you can't get to the river, just discard it or do your Tarpanam wherever you can do it. Audrey is saying here, I feel blessed every day. My ancestors and I have been having dreams. And that's what will happen too, is we'll go into these kind of altered states where we will, all of a sudden, we'll stop what we're doing. It's kind of like gapping out or spacing out or like having daydreams with this energy, and maybe it might be your ancestors. As I shared with some people, I'm going for a walk with my puppy in the park, and all of a sudden someone just comes out of nowhere and they're dressed like they're from a different time space continuum. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's like an ancestor. And never before have I seen this kind of person in the park, because in the neighborhood you get to know everybody. And so even today I was like, oh my goodness. So there was this woman who came in these bright clothes, and she had an umbrella. It's like sunny today. She had an umbrella. She was pushing a cart. She set up a tripod and was taking snapshots. I don't know if it was a video or a photograph. And, you know, just something is not, you know, naturally, I wouldn't see this every day. So I was like, whoa. And even my puppy, who we all know pets can see in, they're very intuitive. They can see into different realms. And then there is a graveyard, a public graveyard, or private graveyard down the street from us where I'm living. And so she was coming from that direction and then set up the tripod. And I'm just like, whoa, this is an indicator. So I just stopped, and Puppy was there too. And we just kind of, it felt like we went into a different time zone, a different time space continuum, meaning like a different headspace. We were gapped out of what was going on, and we just froze. And then this person was happy and joyous, taking pictures, I don't know of what. And then she waved, and I'm like, hi, okay. And then we turned, my puppy and I turned, and we started coming home. And I was just like, whoa, you kind of snap in and out of different realities. But that's what will happen is people always ask, what is it to mean that your third eye is open? You will have these kinds of experiences where like, that was bizarre, or that was weird, but kind of wonderful at the same time. And why does it happen during this time of the ancestors? Is because it may be your ancestor showing you that they're having a good time. So some people have those experiences as well. Could I explain the Karpasamy Homa? Why should you do it? So Karpasamy is this, I'm not sure if you can see him. This is a small image of a guy on a horse. He's the 10th avatar of Vishnu. Vishnu is the god or archetype of the ancestors, ancestral realm. And you can see he's got here, or maybe not, it's hard to see, but he's got this sword. And the sword represents cutting through that congested negative energy that has been surrounding you. So it's just cutting all that energy around you that is no longer serving you, that's holding you back. So he's known as the performer god. And he will go to the realm of the ancestors and cut the curses, cut the tie, energetic tie to those curses, because it's not right. He's all about justice and fairness. And there's a lot of people who experience problems with inheritances. You know, like even your siblings will cheat you out of the will of a parent or a grandparent or something like that. And I've heard that and experienced that. Thank God my siblings were just like, okay, whatever, we'll just divvy it up. But there are people who, you know, they just really fight with one another to get to the inheritance, and they lose a lot of money and so on. So Karpasamy will come in and will destroy all that, and then make sure that it's evenly distributed. Even if it already has been, you know, written in the will, and this is how it's going to be done. When you do participate in this fire lab during Mahalaya, remember, it's the time, being in the right place at the right time, thinking, saying, and doing the right thing. It will open up the doors to some other way of you getting an inheritance. So even if you don't get it from your own biological inheritance because you were cheated out of it, it will come out of nowhere. Like a neighbor will die, and then you'll get exact amount as it would have been if it was supposed to come. So this is how the divine works. And these Karpasamy is an exalted ancestor, meaning that it's raised to the level of a god. And so it's all consciousness. It's not necessarily this guy who's on a horse and he's wielding a a sword. It's just, that's your consciousness will go in and you will just pray to him when you're getting that fire lab done for you in India, and you'll feel like as if he's just cutting away all that negativity that's not allowing you to live a prosperous life, or you feel cheated all the time. So he's the god of justice. He is the 10th avatar that's coming into the earth plane during the golden age, which is right now. We're just saying goodbye to the Kali Yuga, the dark, ignorant stage of being. And you don't have to go far. Look at the ignorance in the earth plane right now. And it has been for several hundred years. So we want to really pay attention to these ancestors, like just erase that history. Not that it never happened, but the energy around it, the struggles, the pain, the suffering. And is it really necessary for this generation or the generations to come to experience that again and again? No, why not put all our energy and our connection to the divine to come in, intervene beyond politics, beyond religion, beyond race, beyond whatever, financial, economical, country, belief system, culture. That's got all those that can exist, but it has to come up to a level of consciousness that is going to be supportive and creating happiness and joy in heaven on earth. Yeah, people are going to struggle anyways because there's the weather. That's going to be a problematic for some people, and it can harm them. But if we are continuing to battle with one another, Karpasamy will just go in there and then chop up that consciousness, get rid of it, and bring the sword of truth, which is to recognize God consciousness in everyone. So if you've been cheated or you feel like something is unfair, you're struggling through lawsuits, or you're struggling with your own mind, it's so negative. You can't think positive thoughts. You can't think prosperity thoughts. You can't think you have high self-esteem. You're just always thinking the negative, and not that you want to. So he'll chop all that up. So hopefully that answers your question about Karpasamy. Today's blessing was the moon phase is about success in your profession, your job, your business, your career, purpose, whatever your purpose is today, even if you're not working. Bella's saying here, I'm shortening your name, Beletharus. I hope I said it right, or close. Anyways, you said my ancestors were Catholics. Will they accept this ritual? It doesn't really matter what whether you think that they're going to accept it or not. Your genes can say, hey, I'm using this technology. It's a spiritual technology. Just like I'm using this phone to communicate or to get on the internet. Maybe your ancestors, they said, I don't believe in cell phones. I don't believe in having any kind of technology because I'm, coming from a farmer. I just want to get the plow going. So just look at it that way, or treat it that way, that it's technology, it's high tech, it's spiritual high tech. So if you want to, do that to unlock the door, to open the door to your ancestors, I don't think they're going to care whether it's a cultural or religious tradition. That's just something that all of us have been, it's been enforced on us. You only think my God is better than your God. This is the way it is. The ancestors are going to think this, and they're going to be so upset if you don't follow this tradition. So again, Dr. Pillai just says, hey, I accept all of it. Let's get the best of the best. And this is one of the tools that may help you to go and explore in your Catholic roots. Go back to church, or continue to go to church, and then ask the priests or the nuns, whoever it is in your tradition, those spiritual masters who are trying to help, to support, to guide you through the traditions. Then ask when old soul, honoring the old souls, the souls who have gone before. Maybe you'll dive deeper into those practices, into those prayers. So we're just saying this might unlock the secrets of that, so that you go back to your tradition and get the essence of the teachings. And don't be afraid that you don't qualify. You do. Some traditions say, no, 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 that's just for the priests, that's the nuns. You just sit there and take it. Okay, well, we're just going to go round and round with that one. So that's why Dr. Pillai says, hey, just use this tool. You feel it. Your spiritual path is your spiritual path. And when you light it up, those ancestors who are Catholic, they're going to be like, hey, that was easy. Get rid of the sins through that cleansing technique. Cool. Hopefully that answers your question. Laura's saying, are you giving consultation these days after the end of Mahalaya? It depends on my schedule. And I know that you've reached out to me, Lawrence, and some of you have as well. And I'm fully booked, and I will definitely, you will get, let's just put it this way, your ancestors and you and your spiritual guides. And when you're ready to receive the information that's going to come, because I'm just going to be the person who opens the door. I don't really have anything to say. So I'm going to open the door for you to commune with your ancestors, or to Ganesha. Some of you are asking for Ganesha, special Ganesha coaching consultations, and then also maybe just personal one-to-one. So whatever you have reached out to ask for, it's going to be in the right place at the right time, and you're going to be in that right headspace. So maybe the ancestors need a little bit of work. I've had some coaching with some people, and it's been tremendous. Experience for them. And I just want that for everybody. So I always trust that it's going to be at the right time. And if you're stressed and you just want it, then there's a lot of energy that you need to release, get it out of the way. And then when you come, you're going to be like, okay, now here's what I need you to help me out with. So just trust that it is going to be that way. And we will have a really great experience, and you'll be guided accordingly with that clarity and peace. Yeah, and if you did already book it, that's fine, and we'll meet up. Yogini is saying, I found out today that my great aunt on my mom's side is related to Harriet Tubman's descendants. Amazing news. Cool. Definitely including her in the Tarpanum. And that's what will happen too, is we'll find out about who we're connected to, and we don't have to do an ancestry DNA test. We can just commune with them, communicate with them. So communing means that you are going beyond words in English or German or Sanskrit or Tamil or French or Spanish, whatever. We're going beyond all that. We're communing with them. Energetically, we're feeling some shift, some dance that we're doing, some release of pain from body parts. You might feel like, oh, wow, I don't feel so lethargic or low energy or depressed even. That gets passed through the generations as well. Mental illness, schizophrenia, all those kinds of really traumatic situations that your ancestors may have lived through, post-traumatic stress. Who doesn't live through post-traumatic stress on some level or another? Post-war, we're feeling that, and it's not, maybe even not wartime in your place. Maybe it is, and you're really getting your whole being rocked. So we want the ancestors to protect us from that, to keep us happy, keep us uplifted, even though we're going through it. Okay. Someone is saying the paternal side did want more offerings on my original offering. They said, give us more. I ignored it. Then you said the paternal side wants more. That's what it felt like, right? So again, there are no hard or fast rules with this Tarpanam practice. We just want to do it wholeheartedly. We want to connect with our body, our mind, our soul, use our mouth to say the prayer, or internally you say it inside, you meditate on it, you commune with it, you communicate with it energetically. It's a spiritual tool. So all of this is just got to get pushed to the side. So you connect spirit to spirit. And then, yes, they will say, give me some more, which they did. So I'm glad that you confirmed that. Nainamika. Okay. Karen saying, I sponsor daily tarpanam for my ancestors. Now that both my mother and father are my ancestors, I have the most peaceful, reassuring, and resourceful dreams. So again, this dream state is going to help you to pierce through into a different state of consciousness where your dreams can get fulfilled. You can dump a lot of karma in your dreams and you don't have to live it in that awaking state. So it will give you insights. Fabulous, Karen. So I do tarpanam here also an hour before sunset. When I did it yesterday on behalf of all humanity, I mentioned that I love them to the end, and then tears just started flowing, but it was so loving. And that's what people are saying, you know, I'm experiencing tremendous angst and trauma that has been pushed down, or maybe some pain and suffering of the grieving process that you weren't able to process fully will come up during the tarpanam. So doing it every day, you don't have to go through like, so it doesn't have to be so intense that it, you know, knocks you out and you for the day. Or it can be that you just feel the love every day of your ancestors supporting you. And the joy, the tears releasing is like a cleansing process. Again, the eyes are the windows to your soul. So the soul is trying to shine through so you can see what's my soul's purpose. Well, who's my soulmates, or, you know, who are the people in my life that are going to be vibrating at that same soul-like level versus maybe a superficial or a stuck level or just whatever it is, same old, going in, going day in, day out. So we want to keep cleansing what we see and what we experience. So the tears can be that. Sue's saying, I had chills for the last 3 days, tingling in my body. Yeah. So the spirits, that energy can be pinging us all around. And then it will give us goosebumps or truth bumps that, oh, we are communing, we're piercing into another realm of being. So just take note of that. Some people have been keeping a journal, so that's kind of fun. Can we use powdered ground black sesame seeds? Sure. Try it out. All right, so we've come to the end of the chat. If I did not answer your question, it's really not so easy for me. Not using excuses, but maybe if you really need to send, you know, share about your experience, you can post it again. But if you want to, you can send it as well to sutri@pillai.com, and then I'll respond to your email. And again, those people who have reached out for one-to-one coaching, trust that it's going to be in the right time for you, because word is going to open the door and you're going to have the party with whatever divine being is going to come through that you need to have that message, or you need to have clarity, or you need blessings. So it's not a normal coaching session, that's for sure. It is something that will just say, hey, whoa, are we ever lucky that this happened? And I'm always so blessed too, because it's always a good time. All right, everyone. So God bless you all. Thank you so much. Thanks to Dr. Pillai for bringing us together again to do something for our ancestors on the mother side of the family, father side of the family, and for the world. So we'll see you tomorrow, same time. Namaste.